Whoa, hey, there we go. We're missing a man there. Hey, welcome one, welcome all, welcome everybody. You are here on the Qtr Sports podcast. I am your host, Mr. Kevlar Treatumswell, and joined with me, as always, Mr. Skip from Skip and more, Mr. Diamond Dirty D, and the Kick Step King Coach. Hey, fellas, what it is, what it ain't, what's going on?
Yes.
What's going on? We missed y'all last week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. What were we doing last week? What happened last week?
We everybody was spread out and we didn't have time to get on time.
Well, the Florida Gators are the 2025 March Madness winners. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does this kind of put some of the SEC shit talk to bed?
No. The SEC is going to be the SEC. It's just that Connecticut has always been Connecticut, and people overlooked them because of what the SEC has been doing. And what's her name? Paige Buchers?
No, Skip. I'm talking about the men. I'm talking about the men.
Okay. I thought you said the women.
Florida won. Florida won the men's.
Yeah, I know, but I'm sorry, but because anyway, in basketball,
after the rough SEC look in the college football playoffs, there was so much talk about the SEC is done, and people weren't just talking about football; they were saying across the board.
Yeah, but it's easy to say it because the SEC has been gold standard for so long. And now with the NIL coming in and now universities being able to woo people with money, the parity is equaling out. So it's easy to say the SEC is gone. But until they start losing consistently, because 1 year don't mean they're gone. You get what I'm saying? So there's going to be parity and better competition. But until the Big 12 or the Pac 12 or the ACC or somebody start winning two or three in a row like the SEC was doing, then the SEC is still going to be at the top of the ladder, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. D, what you think of that?
Well, when they was making the comments about the SEC like that, in my opinion, I think they were leaning toward the football aspect of it, because you still have, as you might as well say, South Carolina's women has been dominant on their end of the spectrum of what sport they in. Vanderbilt is the baseball of the SEC. Georgia is right there in the mix with some of that, where you got the football, the Alabamas and the Georgias of the world. And this is the first time that I can remember outside of Kentucky's stranglehold back in the day on the tournament outside of Duke and North Carolina that we had these many teams from the SEC. And like Abe said, you taking the SEC the field. You follow me? But Florida, when I did check out the games I seen them play, they had an up and down pace where they could play inside out, outside in. And I seen them come back from a 10-point lead in one of the previous games before they got to the Final Four. So that let me know like they was ready to play. They was ready to play.
But now, I'm sorry. What's this? Do you think they could have beat Duke?
Yes.
I don't think so. Don't get me wrong. They beat the team that beat Duke. What I'm saying is, had it been Duke, I think the coaching aspect would have came in along with that Michael Jordan dude they got over there. You know what I mean? Now we got this lead. You got to take this lead. We ain't gonna let you get this lead back like you used to did.
But Duke's team was big and lanky. Florida's team was a up and down running team. So you might have would have got just a comparison. UNLV running rep versus that old Duke team back in the day. You see what I'm saying? But the difference is Florida, let's stay with me here, not comparing the two.
Yeah.
Florida was a little more athletic than the Duke team they would have played against, in my opinion, outside of overall flag. It was going to be a contrast in styles, where you had a half-court type offense, get it down to the low post with Duke compared to a run and gun type of Florida team.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Hey,
Well, even though I picked Duke to win it,
I did too.
going a month back, I said the SEC is becoming college basketball conference. And it came to show what we have: 3 teams in the Final Four, or 2, or however.
It was Houston, Duke,
So
Florida, and
Florida and Auburn.
Auburn. Yeah, it was those 4
yeah,
and 5.
yeah. So um, I'm gonna agree and disagree with you a little bit, D. Even though Duke was long and lanky, they still can get up and down the court. They still can play either style. I think that Florida just got a little bit better, more 3-point shooting. They kind of caught fire when they needed to hit some shots. Whereas Duke probably would have played a totally different offensive game than what Florida would play. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, Houston played tenacious as hell to
They play
beat.
butt ahead.
They play some real dog ball. That's what I call it.
Right.
Calvin, Calvin or Kelvin Sampson. I'm not sure.
Kelvin.
Calvin. He's one of the best college coaches out there. So, congrats to him. I think he would have got 800 wins if he would have won the ship. But Florida, man, the boys, and it's about matchups too. Like Skip said, do we think Florida would have beat Duke? Probably not, because just the contrast of styles. Houston kind of fit more to Florida style. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? They don't have a whole. They got a little bit of height, but not a lot like Duke. You feel me? So it would have definitely been a different matchup, and that's what it be all about when you get down to it with these Final Four games. Well, just tournament games, period. Because before we seen the Cinderella, we didn't see it this year, but sometimes you get that Cinderella. If they match up well with this giant, they get knocked off. But like I said, it didn't happen this year. But congrats to Florida. I feel like the SEC is gaining momentum, though. You got some great coaches, and now we can add the Florida coach to the mix with Bruce Pearl and the Tennessee coach who was at Texas years back. So, man, I feel like then you throw Bama in there, and, Oklahoma in the ACC. I forget about that. So
Right.
it's definitely going be interesting to see years to come. Like Skip said, that they gonna definitely have to win a couple to make us think that. But the way they build the momentum with all these teams and all these good players, and you got folks at Auburn was average was 24, 25. So now that you have that now in the play, along with NIL and all the other stuff, I definitely want to see how the SEC schools do going in the future.
Well, speaking of, sorry, Skip. Last point, and we got to move.
Oh, you mean? Oh, one more thing.
Ahead.
With the NIL, it's not going to be like it is in football. With football, a star wide receiver can go from one college to nothing and jump out there and start. It ain't going to be that way in basketball. I don't think you're going to have a superstar player leave Houston and then go to Florida and just get out there on the starting 5. It's only 5 positions. So if you're just not that dog, then I don't think the NIL will play a key part in the transferring like it does in football. Go ahead, Jeff.
All right. Well, speaking of transferring and NIL and football, Nico, I've been trying to make sure I can get it right all friggin' day. Nico Lamaleva. Lamaleva? That's what it was? Lamaleva? Some shit. Lamo, Lama, what?
Okay.
Whatever. I'm sure everybody's seen this story, but he has entered the transfer portal, leaving Tennessee over wanting more money. He was currently making $2.4 million on his NIL contract, but he wanted 4. I said in the beginning, the NCAA could have fixed this years ago by just giving all the players a stipend. You get this much every week or every month, however they want to do it. And everybody pretty much is on the same level because now we're going into NFL contract talks here. Skip. What do you think?
The stipend thing I don't agree with because there's different levels of players, just like in any other league, any other play, any job. There's different levels of people, so everybody can't get paid the same. I mean, it probably would have worked back for in the day. Everybody, you're going to get $1,000 a week or a month or whatever. That would have been better than the little money that they were getting. But in this case here, I hope he does not get picked up by another team. The greed and there's something else that's not. And I'm blatant when I say this, but I think he's gambling. I think he might be into drugs. I think something is going on where he needs all this money or he wants all this money. Because if you were that good, you would be getting that money. You can't demand it. You're not going to leave a Tennessee who's a mediocre to good school making $2.4 million and go somewhere else and get $4 million because you weren't the dog on that team. You were just a good player. So for him to say, I'm not getting this, so I'm going to transfer, and the one link you sent, the Oregon coach is the one snitched him out, supposedly, right? Yep. So I think now this is where players need to pay attention. He going to float in the transfer portal and not get nothing. And then lose his chance if he had a chance of going to the league because he ain't going to be, well, he'll be eligible, but ain't nobody going to have no tape on him. And you taking that attitude into the league, you don't need to be there no way.
D, Los in the comments kind of seems like he's disagreeing a little bit. What is your take?
Well, the thing is, the kid, from what I read, it all started. He seen, of course they get NIL money. We know this, but he seen a Carson Beck that underperformed for a Georgia team get $4 million at Miami. So now you asking for more of a bump because you see what he got and he didn't perform on the level or whatever you feel that your skill set is. Now you gonna get all the other things that come with it. Like you said, Oregon coach made a phone call, and don't get it twisted. Regardless of they're working for other universities, there still is a coaching brotherhood to a certain extent when they talk to these kids, because all of them recruiting the same kids. Abe knows this, this, Skip, or whatever the case may be. From my understanding, the deals that he had, he wasn't showing up to the sign autograph events where he's supposed to be. That's already giving him money. You see what I'm saying? So my take on this thing, I'm not mad at the University of Tennessee saying, hey, you can go. I'm not mad at the kid trying to get more money. The problem is the NCAA. Because just like you said, the NCAA has been a crooked establishment for years. You knew this was coming down the pipe. You should have said, like you said, Kev, you should have put a cap on it. So many players, the cap is, let's say, $4 million, and you work under that. And what I mean, each player, being that your high level player can make $4 million and whatever, if that's what you was doing. You follow me? In my opinion. Because now what this did happen, it set a precedence now with the coaches. Miami coach, you see, he made a comment about it. Mm-hmm. Hey, you want to hold out? I'm just going to take your scholarship from you. I'm just going to kick you off the team. We ain't got to go through all this. So that gave the universities a little bit of power back, just a little bit. Because if Tennessee would have folded, in my opinion, hell would have broke loose.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Abe.
Absolutely.
So for me, right, like Skip said, and excuse my French, But you ain't did shit, bro. You ain't did nothing. They say you wanted to hold out for the playoff game. You went out there and played in the cold. I don't know if you was point shaving or what, but you suck, buddy. You really
104
sucked out
yards
there.
on
I watched
31
it.
pass attempts.
Y'all watched it, right? You suck.
104 yards, 31 pass
Ohio
attempts.
State put
Well, what
Ohio
Abe is
State
saying,
belt the ass.
he
You know
didn't
what I'm
play
saying?
big in no game. Go ahead. Go ahead, Abe.
And like this whole thing too, the NIL and the portal, it's not just good for players, but it's also good for other schools too, to where they can, hey man, if you want to leave, I'm gonna get him, or you know. But in this case, bro, I'm glad Dan Lanning snitched him out. I'm glad Bill Belichick didn't mess with him because I heard he was supposed to do that. But bro, and I don't really know if it's gonna hurt his stock because I do think he will play somewhere. You know, it may not be even a Tennessee level school right now. You know the way I'm looking at it because
He'll end up in
you
the
didn't
ACC.
perform, bro. So you did not perform. So I don't see how you sitting here asking for more money, wanting to hold out, that they probably best game last year. I feel like was probably they beat Bama at home. I think, but you know, just last year, who was Bama? And we how many times have we said that? But just looking at it, dog, I'm gonna name probably 5 other quarterbacks in the ACC who were better than him. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, like I'm just on some. How dare you? Like you ain't did nothing, brother. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I do hope he don't get picked up by nobody like Skip said, but you know he is. But as far as the level of school he go to, I believe it's gonna decline. He might as well go out there to Hawaii or wherever he from and throw for 1,700,000 yards and try to go to the league like Timmy Chang or Colt Brennan or whoever else
Yeah.
because I don't feel like I feel like he's dug himself a hole and I don't feel like he's gonna be able to come up out of it, bro. He's gonna have to go to a lower level school, get his success, and possibly go to the draft then.
Well, here are 3 schools that ESPN has guessed, they've said might be a good fit for him. USC, Southern Cal, Notre Dame, and UCLA.
I don't think they're gonna get him.
On the West Coast.
Yes.
I don't think they're
All
gonna.
Everything on the West Coast.
I don't think they're gonna come up.
And he's kind of frail also. But to piggyback on what Abe was saying, what big game did they really win? Georgia stuffed the
Bama.
mud hole in them. Bama stuffed the mud hole in them. I
Now they
think.
beat Bama.
Well, they beat Bama.
Oh yeah, this
I'm
year I'm
pulling
saying
up. I'm
yeah,
pulling up their schedule from this past
but
season.
they have a lot of his record against big games. He doesn't show up.
But you know what? I think he got a taste of the rich lifestyle, and he was riding off of what the town was telling him. Man, you the man. Why you ain't making money? That dude make more than you. Look who you beat, Alabama. He lost here, he lost there, and his head got big. And I'm living this lifestyle, so give me my money.
But they said it was his daddy who was edge who's running things too. I guess he's uh consulting him to do that, but you know.
Daddy gonna throw his career away.
I'm surprised Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp and them ain't got on this and talked about it. I really think that them talking about it, and I don't think Shannon Sharp's gonna do it because he's gonna have to bash that kid, or he's gonna have to bash it.
Should.
No.
Should.
Shannon ain't the dude that'll do that. Stephen A. is the dude that'll do that.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan Clark did make a nice statement about the situation that I did like.
Dan Orlovsky did as well. He kind of defended Nico a little bit.
So you know.
All right. Well, another story. Damn, we are all SEC right now. Out of LSU, Kyron Lacey, the wide receiver, their number one wide receiver from this past season, was found dead, and it was apparently a suicide. That's what they're ruling it. And if y'all remember a couple of months ago, he was involved in an incident with a car accident that allegedly, he caused, but his vehicle was not actually in the accident. But a person did lose their life as a result of the accident. Yeah, give me y'all's thoughts on this. We don't have too much info yet, and I doubt there will be too much more come out. But he was set to go to court, I believe, the day after they found him.
Right.
Today. He probably went to
So
court
yeah,
today.
he was supposed to go to court today. Skip.
I think something was coming down the pipe that scared him to death. And what I'm talking about, I think he was facing some jail time behind it. The powers that be couldn't get him out of this trouble because he did a juvenile thing and left the scene when he could have just stayed and said, hey, blah, 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 and that went on to the league and been happy ever after. I also think that the people around him, just like with the young boy from Tennessee, they were catering to him and telling him, oh, man, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. And then when the DA or whoever the prosecutor was, they probably told him, oh, no, we're going to get you. You ain't nothing. You can't buy your way out of this. And that probably caused him to do what he was doing. But I heard a rumor, and I want y'all to verify or say it's not true. Wasn't he in a high-speed chase or something before he killed himself?
Yes, that's what we were talking about. He had the hit and run incident.
No. I'm talking about they were chasing. Again, I heard this. I don't know how true it is. Weren't they chasing him or trying to pull him over or something?
Oh, yes. Before he killed this. Yes. They was pursuing him. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that right there, and this is where I'm saying I don't think all the stuff is out. Why were they chasing him? If he was due to be in court today, for what reason would they have been chasing him to think that he killed himself? You get what I'm saying? Did he break the law again? Was he speeding again? Or was he, whatever? There weren't no warrant out for him. Not that we know.
Hang on. All right. Former LSU player Kyron Lacey was found dead in his car in Houston after a police chase Saturday night, days before he was set to appear before a grand jury that would decide if he would face charges in a fatal crash. New information obtained by WBRZ says that Lacey was arguing with a family member shortly after 11 p.m. on Saturday, reportedly pulled out a gun and shot it at the ground before leaving the area. About 30 minutes later, a constable spotted Lacey driving and attempted to make a traffic stop. Deputies said Lacey refused to stop and was chased for several miles before crashing. Walked up to Lacey's car, take him into custody. They didn't realize he had shot himself during the pursuit and before the crash.
So that there you go again, and then that's a lot to deal with. Not giving a free pass. What happened? This guy 6 months ago was potentially gonna get picked in the first round of the NFL draft. Would have changed his whole family's life. But we did see that there was some mental issues going on the field when he was doing little antics on the field the first game of the season, and it's a touchy situation for everybody involved. Another innocent family lost a life. I'm talking about with the hit and run incident. They won't get justice for that. You know what I'm saying? You have another family that, whatever the situation is, coward in aspects of what just took place. Very cowardly. You know what I'm saying? And this is the society that we living in where these young people cannot handle adversity when it comes to certain things in life. Because you got to think, Skip, you are no disrespect, you are the elder statesman on this show. You've seen a lot of stuff. You've been around a lot, and you've seen decades of different genres of how life and how kids come up, and you see it. Ain't no more of this no more. get your ass whooped and go in the house. You put your hands on somebody, you might lose your life that same day. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I don't even want to comment on this situation no more because I know that family is terrible. That they called the police on him, a gun in the ground, and then he ended up killing himself. We don't know what the argument was about. We're speculating on whether he was facing jail time or not. Like you said, we don't know about the mental aspect of it. And I don't want to seem like I'm holier than thou, like I've been in the league and I'm retired. I'm just talking like, I'm a Shannon Sharp or somebody. So prayers to the family. Prayers to the family of the accident of the people that died that he caused or had something to do with. But this right here, man, this is the broken family, the enabling children, and then all of a sudden when you say no, that's a big roadblock. It's issues, and you sweeping the psychological aspect of the kids upbringing up under the rug, and
It's a lot.
yeah,
Abe, before you go, real quick, I want to ask a question. Um, my wife's from New Orleans. Grew up, she's Louisiana most of her life. Baton Rouge ain't the best spot.
no,
We can all agree on that. We saw this, or I'm just gonna throw John Morant in there real quick. When he got to Memphis and he started getting engulfed in that lifestyle, or at least wanting to be, because that's who he had around him. Do you think this could have been another situation of a good athlete not knowing how to handle a bad environment?
Agreed. And for two, by the time you get that age and you're in, I'm like you playing college football, bright lights, LSU. Um, I don't want to sound insensitive to it, but mental issue or not, you have to look at what's in front of you, what you have to gain by being a good boy and being successful versus what you doing. Now, it seems to me like this is a case of the man upstairs just telling bro, I got out, you getting out one time now. You ain't went to jail. We ain't locked you up yet. We don't know what's gonna happen. You might be finna go to jail, you might not. But it seemed like to me, he just didn't know how to humble himself. Cause even being under that, what you already got, you just killed somebody in a vehicular homicide type of deal, and you out here shooting a gun and shooting a gun anywhere, having a gun on you and around people, good people who you supposed to be family with, friends with, or whatever. Why you put yourself in that environment, bro, to where you even want to do that, thinking about doing it? You feel what I'm saying? And at the moment, you got to think LSU bright light Saturday night or this. Like you ain't putting it all in perspective. And just to be hot head in front of some women or some dudes because they talking crazy, that's crazy. Because your opportunity is bigger than that. Whatever they doing, I'm sure. Unless you argue with another NFL player or something, and I doubt
Yeah.
it. Feel what I'm saying? Because they ain't making you do that. So this like you gotta learn, bro. And he didn't learn from his mistakes. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know his mental issue. We don't know if he fumbling with the gun and shot himself in the car, or if it was he did whatever. We don't know. You feel what I'm saying? But either way, you put yourself in these positions, bro. You did that, Kyra Lace. Whether you listen to somebody else put you right there, or you did it yourself, you did. You feel what I'm saying? So it's definitely misfortunate. Other people lost their life. Other families had to suffer. And that young man lost his and had a promising career ahead of him. Even if he wouldn't have went first round, Washington might have got him in the second or third, and he would have got to play with Jay Daniels or however it would have went. You feel what I'm saying? But now it's just more tragedy, bro. And it's all because of him and the decisions that he wanted to make at that time. And And I definitely pray for his family and the other people's family. But bro, you just gotta humble yourself, especially when you already in bad situations. Like you got this looming. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, bro. This like
Now I'm gonna tell you what I think went through his mind in that last little bit with what he was gonna go to court for. Look at Jalen Carter. I think he probably knew, okay, I might have been able to figure this situation out and still make it in the NFL, right? But we just that article we just read alone was 3 new felonies
Yes.
at
But
a minimum on top of that charge that he was already facing. In his
yes.
mind, in that moment, I believe he freaked out and
what?
saw no end.
Well, to piggyback on what you're saying, when you have a president of the other incidents, we just had the Rice situation last year. Previously, we had the Henry Ruggs situation. You see what I'm saying? These people, they haven't even got the Rice situation yet. Henry Ruggs is serving time now. They already got in place what the charge is. Then you put more charges on top of that. Now you just a repeat offender. You have no regard for the law.
Because that would have been brandishing a weapon,
Find a way.
discharging a weapon in a public setting, evading officers. I mean, they would have
Reckless,
they would have hit you with everything.
reckless driving,
Reckless driving, that would have been another one. Reckless endangerment.
endangerment of a firearm in the commission to commit a crime, depending on who was around,
Carrying a
children,
registered weapon, possession of
all that,
a weapon.
all that.
He was
It
going to
could
get
have
hit
been
with at
aggravated
least
assault.
15 charges.
Could have been aggravated assault. If he fired it at the ground towards them, that's still assault.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a whole bunch of things. They would have slapped him too.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he would have definitely went to prison had he not,
And you never know. If you had an agent, whatever you had involved, the phone call probably was already made. There ain't nobody finna talk to you, dude.
It's a sad situation all the time, all around.
Look what Lowe said. You know what? We it's hard to know because he was arguing with the family, whatever they were arguing about. But I think, like what Abe said, Kev said, Baton Rouge is not a good place, man. It's not a place where tourists flock to no more. Boosie is from there and don't want to be there because of how dangerous it is. So I think he got in with the wrong people and felt comfortable carrying a gun because of the people he hung around. And guns empower people. Weapons empower
Absolutely.
people. It makes you Andre the Giant when you're a coward because you got a gun on you. So again, we don't know the situation with his family. He brandished it, pulled it out, shot it to scare him or pump himself up or whatever. And then, like D said, all that stuff was rushing back to him while he was running. Then when the police got behind him, I can't get rid of the gun. My mama called the police on me. So look, oh my God, I'm gone forever. Pow. We're assuming, but it's just terrible, man, that if you got your parents in your life and they don't have the wherewithal to say, hey, son, stay over here. Look what you got coming to you in about 6 months. Think about that. Fuck them dudes. Look at John Morant. Like you said, look at the other line, Henry Ruggs. You're gonna be in that same category if you keep on. That could have been what they were arguing about. We don't know, but these should be talking points to incoming freshmen, to especially like LSU that's in the middle of a bad neighborhood. They should show these types of scenarios to these kids, man. You're finna get this money. This can happen, that can happen, this can happen, and y'all need to talk to us, do whatever.
Well,
But could that steer kids away from coming to the school, or at least steer parents from?
no, the school,
No.
the school. You can't blame LSU for that. But this is the part we know we got a draft coming up, and we all gonna watch it. Me and my son will sit down and watch it. Everybody that's listening, if you do have a chance, you got a young kid, or you have your lady friend, mothers or whoever, sit down and watch the draft, and you see the people around these kids that's finna be getting all this money, and the young ladies that's around these kids, and the parents or if the fathers in the picture, you can really tell who's gonna be what to a certain extent. And believe me, the NFL has their own FBI. They going all the way back to when we was in middle school to talk to your sixth grade teacher to see if you forged the deficiency notice. That's how far they go back. They start at a middle school, sixth grade level, and they start coming up to find somebody, to find any discrepancies in your jacket. And this is a fact. This ain't nothing I'm making up. Sixth grade. Because that's when they start seeing if you got the athletic potential. Basketball, baseball, whatever it is. And they're going to go back and see, did your parents have a run-in with the coach at this level? It start with them. Your hanger-on friends. Who is your best friend? Who is your girlfriend? Who are the people? Because you know in these rural areas, we have some of the street pharmacists that start sponsoring these children. You like that, do you, Abe? They start sponsoring these children, putting money behind them. We've seen it, well, in a league that we was around. And you know what I'm saying? We know what's going on. We're not stupid and not a blind eye to it. And what happens, not saying this is the case, these kids' head get so big they think they're above everybody until that hammer comes, however that hammer comes.
You know, you hit a good point. We don't realize how long it's been going on. I'm going to tell y'all one person that it happened to, and y'all knew it, but y'all forgot about it. Allen Iverson. Way back. If it don't be for John Thompson, Allen Iverson don't play college basketball.
That's a fact.
John Thompson, the Hall of Fame coach, said that kid can play. I'm going to give him a scholarship. Everybody else snatched their scholarships back. Everybody. Because of a fight in a bowling alley where some white kids jumped on them. In high school.
And
so one coach believed in him, and look, he's a Hall of Famer now. So yeah, it's been happening for years. We just ain't been paying attention to it because
and to jump back on that, if you go look at his story, AI story, that's why I say for some of these kids, put some of these guys' biography up. That AI story is crazy in that one area. AI, Ronald Curry, Aaron Brooks, and Michael Vick was in one high school area. And everybody says, what part of God struck lightning to have that much talent right there in a 10-year span of high school, whatever. And what they did to AI, trumped up charges. And one of the things was they was trying to force him to go to a college. Because of that situation. Well, if you go here, we'll throw that away. You know what I'm saying? If you go look at, and all these kids, I really think, I know they have a rookie so I can't get the rookie thing where they talk to the symposium, where they talk to the football players and try to talk to them. I think it has to go a little bit deeper, Skipper, Abe. I really do. You know, when you getting ready, junior, senior, college, or they already know that you're a potential top 10, top 5 first round pick when they go into your year of football. We all knew Reggie Bush was going to be Reggie Bush. We knew Champ Bailey. I'm just naming names that we knew of players that were coming out. We knew they was going to be what they was going to be. This crop of kids coming, the Travis Hunters of the world, the Shedeur Sanders and Cam and all this. Watch what's going to happen. They messing with Shedeur because of his name on the back of his jersey. Kid ain't caused no problems, ain't started nothing, been a model citizen. We ain't got him stealing bubble gum at the convenience store. We have nothing on this kid, and they trying to find something.
The boy don't smoke cigarettes, do nothing.
So terrible. if they are doing that to him, just imagine if you got a speeding problem. You got a little drinking problem. You like to use the glaucoma medicine. Anything that you
Steven Garcia.
The glaucoma medicine.
You know, anything, you know, you wanna use. You know, you might have a pain pill situation. You never know. But I'm just saying they gonna investigate everything, and they will put people in place.
This man said the glaucoma medicine.
You know, so I'm just, you know, being honest.
Hey, tell him you got a prescription.
Oh my God.
Where's my wallet? Where's my wallet?
Oh my God, that's a good one, man.
Crazy word.
Hey, man, you just described Steven Garcia and Johnny Manziel.
But Johnny Manziel had money already. So the NIL wouldn't have affected him no way because he already had the money and the attitude to go with it. So he didn't have the peer pressure that these kids got. Because Johnny had the money, he was just showboating because he had it and nobody else had it. But if everybody had it, he would have been just a normal kid. You get what I'm saying? In Johnny Manziel's case, that's what I'm saying. They started building prisons at the 6th grade. What?
Yeah, they start putting them. What he said, you know, they can put them in jail at the age in the 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? That's what Ken is mentioning. Go ahead, Abe.
Oh man, just gotta be some good decisions made, bro, and some damn accountability for yourself and from others to just be on you. It's all about. It's definitely all about you and your decisions, but it definitely still got a lot to do with who around you
That's right.
and who influences you, good or bad, or whether you want to go hang in the hood, whatever it was, bro. I just hate that he had whatever the mindset was he had, being that he was already into something. You see what I'm saying? So so
If you want to be gangster, go be gangster. You want to play football?
for
Play
sure,
football.
bro, you playing like LSU is
You top tier right there.
it's baby wide receiver you. You feel what I'm saying? It's another wide receiver you. Every wide receiver with probably the couple of ones, last one that came out, been pretty good. You feel what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, Alabama been putting out some nice.
Between them and Bama, yeah, I'm agree with Skip. And watch this.
Ohio State nice too with the receivers.
Yes. And I'm gonna watch this to what you said. You got so many athletes, basketball and football. I'm not gonna even bring baseball in it. They have this mentality where they want to be hip hop stars instead of athletes. Stay in your lane, brother.
The worlds have merged.
But
Yeah,
I'm saying
The worlds have merged.
that's why it's up to you. It's up to you, and like I say, who around you, because it's gonna be in your face some kind of way. You feel what I'm saying? It's up to you to dodge, or even if you is gonna just be around it, you gotta know how to carry and handle yourself. You feel
and
what
and another the real issue with me too is the hanger ons, the so-called friends and the people that's around.
That's what everybody wants. They want to.
But what I'm saying, Skip, you got the hanger ons that might be, hey, they know this ain't right, what you doing or what you getting yourself into, but they leeching off of you, so they don't tell you what's wrong and right, because they think the bag gonna get cut off. And just like you mentioned,
go ahead.
just like you mentioned, AI had an entourage. Reebok had a guy they specifically put with AI. AI passing out $10,000 to everybody. Luckily, this guy kept the money. And when AI retired, when they said AI was broke, he went to him and told him, go check that account. That's all the money over the years I've been around you. That's your money you gave me. Out of all those people, AI was taking care of. One person did that for him.
But Reebok also set him up too.
Yeah, Reebok set him up.
With a $50 million thing that he would get at what, age 50 or 45, whatever it was, big nest egg waiting on. And I think he had forgotten about that also. But you know, I know we're going to go, Kev, but real quick, if these colleges don't take what's happening now in the last couple of years with this incident, with the Henry Ruggs in the NFL and all these other athletes, and put it in some kind of film thing to show these incoming people this is what can happen and this is what will happen if you don't take your time and make the right decisions, then I think we're missing the point of going to school. Because even though these are kids, they still need direction. They still need to be guided. So to think that they can come in and be grown men because you're giving them grown men money, that is a mistake too in the league.
All right. Well, Dio's a little bit surprised that you threw this one on there. Damn, I can hear that damn dog snoring. Rory McIlroy has won
McIlroy.
McIlroy.
Yeah, sir. I know McIlroy.
There's no A in there. That is a MCLL, sir.
His name is McIlroy.
It's McIlroy.
Well, it's McDonald's to me, and that is MC, playa. Either way, he started the tournament breaking a record with 6 birdies in a row. And for those who don't know what birdie is, when you hit a shot under par.
Yes.
At the Masters, those first 6 holes are all par 4s.
Yes.
So, he started 6 under after 6 holes. That is friggin' nuts.
Come on,
in
man.
the world of golf. I play golf. Not well. I don't think anybody. I think anybody who isn't playing on a tour of some sort doesn't play golf. It's just a great excuse to go out and get fucking hammered and hit a ball as hard as you can.
Because I saw you doing balls in the street. I saw you. I remember.
But I had a great time, didn't I?
You did.
I had a great time. But either way, yeah, man. D, you put this on here. Give me your thoughts.
This is a rich man's game. That's number one.
Yeah.
A lot of deals are made on golf courses. A lot of things transpire, but me and my mom watched this yesterday, all 18 holes. This is the first time Roy McIlroy has won the green jacket in 11 attempts. And he's always been there. And this is nothing like baseball, football, whatever, where you can throw so many yards. You can get under par by 5 strokes, and you will mess around and lose that 5 under par.
All it takes is one hole for you to lose.
One hole, and it's all over. So the skill set that it takes, I know a lot of us got into watching golf because of Tiger and things in this nature and so forth, but the skill
John
set
Daly,
it takes,
baby.
and the mindset, the golden barrel, the shark, I can name a couple, Chi Rodriguez. Oh yeah, I watch golf. So, you know, to sit here and see him finally get one and the intensity that was on his face. But it was another guy that when they first started the 18th hole, Skip, they were together.
It's still there.
The 2 guys were together. Well, I'm gonna take that back. They started off that round, the last round of the 9, and they was 1 and 2. And when I tell you this guy was the favorite, when I tell you that guy lost it around about hole 9, he hit the ball in the water, and he was under, Skip. He was 11 under. By the time they got to the back 9, Skip, he was 6 under.
All it takes is one hole. One miscue with that golf club, you struggling.
You 3-putt once, which I 3-putt on every damn hole. Messes up.
In golf, Rory McIlroy was the heir apparent to Tiger Woods.
Yes.
When Tiger went through his issues with the divorce and all the scandal he had, all the video games and all the endorsements he had, they took Tiger off and put Rory on it because he would be the next golden child. And he win here and then lose 2 or 3, then win 1 to stay relevant. But he should have been, by golfing standards, Rory McIlroy should have had a green jacket 8-10 years ago.
Yep.
Yes.
He just wasn't what they thought he was gonna be. He's a good golfer, great golfer, but he just wasn't dominant like Tiger was because he didn't have somebody to look up to fight towards. Once Tiger fell off the cliff, there was no bullseye for him to shoot at. They put it on his back. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not that there weren't players that were ranked higher than him, but Rory McIlroy was deemed the golden child when Tiger went through his issues.
Yes, he was.
when Tiger had the bullseye, Rory was winning and he was coming like a bull because I want to beat him. But once the bullseye got on his back, you understand what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the things why the majors just kept eluding him.
But we're leaving out one thing that we're forgetting about here.
What's that?
The Saudis changed professional golf. The Live Tour, Rory is on the Live Tour.
Yep.
So
Tiger. Well,
golfers now have gone. So golf.
Hold on. Let him go, Skip. Let him go.
Okay. All right.
The money that they're making on the Live Tour, the golfers that are signed over to Live, is 10 times the amount they were making on the PGA Tour. So you had to finish top. I think you got to be top 40 to qualify to even make that tour, and then you have to finish like top 20 to even get paid enough to pay rent
on the PGA.
Yes, on the PGA.
Yeah.
On the Live Tour, they're getting signed. They're on 4 or 5 $10 million contracts.
But I thought Rory was one of the ones that was fighting against Liv for the long.
In the beginning. He
finally broke down because they kept throwing money at it. So I'm not gonna say Liv ruined that because
I said it changed it. It changed it because those big names that we were seeing. Because remember, at first PGA wasn't okay. You want to go to Live, you're not doing anything PGA. And PGA owns all the big major golf events,
all the courses.
So it was kind of a you weren't seeing. I don't know. He wasn't playing as much in PGA, so that game, the game had changed a little bit. I'll say.
You seen golfers? We seen golfers winning that we had never heard of. You seen, like last year's Masters.
John Rahm.
We didn't know who this guy was. He just coming on.
Didn't John Rahm win twice?
Not back to back.
Something he was close. I know he won.
Yeah, they were showing it, but some of the guys that won, I was like, well, who was that? Who was that? When we seen the guy playing was the guy who won last year wasn't even in the running. That's what I'm getting at with the tournament. But this is just like NASCAR. This is their Super Bowl. It's the Masters. They started off at the beginning of the year, and then it goes through the summer. Abe, you got anything?
Well, I mean, he really has, cause like now when you talk about golf, if you're not talking about Tiger, who you talking about? You're talking about Rory, So I feel like now he is the new standard. And this year he got 3 wins, which is the most on the tour. Lead the money list. He got like 4 or 5 top 10 finishes on the tour. So he balling out in both really, and then money getting thrown at him. And I feel like the Live keeps him sharp too when it comes to the PGA. Just some good practice. You feel what I'm saying? Because from what I've seen, it's on the inside. Am I right?
Most of them.
Yeah. So yeah. But like I said, man, McElroy is the new standard. So we don't have anybody else as consistent as he is right now. So I feel like he's that guy right now.
Well, Charlie Woods is coming.
Charlie coming.
Charlie coming, boy.
He Charlie coming.
Charlie.
Oh, right.
Charlie.
Well,
holding one. He coming.
All right, fellas. We only got about 15 more minutes here. Let me get into this real quick. We had a new featherweight champion crowned on Saturday night. Alexander the Great Volkanovski is your champion once again after taking down Diego Lopez in a dominant 5-round performance. I was very surprised that this fight went 5 rounds, but Volk pulled it out. I believe he would have retired had he not won this fight. I told my wife he was going to retire if he lost, because before this fight, his last 2 losses he's been knocked out 2 fights in a row.
Mm.
So I said right here, he gets knocked out again, he's done.
The one thing about fighting is just like in golf, one miss you're 12 over par. One good right hook or one uppercut, fight over with. So I get what you're saying about him being knocked out the last 2 fights. He would have retired had he lost this one. But it's one of those things to where boxing shouldn't be a 15, 20-year sport anyway for nobody.
You're right. And he's definitely a Hall of Famer.
Floyd fought the way the rules are intended. Hit, not get hit. Everybody, and me included, wants to see you stand toe to toe and just trade punches. And that's where the UFC, the longevity is going away now, because that's what they're doing. They're pounding them in the side of their head. They're kicking them in the ribs. And yeah, you don't have but 3-4 years in the UFC, really strong years, and then you'll fight a bunch of cupcakes after that. So if I was him, I'd a couple more money fights and get on and live my life. You got a wife and family, so.
Well, Alexander Volkanovski, like I said, will definitely be a UFC Hall of Famer. I believe 27-4 is his record. Of course, he was 26-2 for he only had 2 losses for a long time. But man, I think the best fight of the night, in my opinion, was most surprising fight, I should say. Michael Chandler versus Patty the Batty Pimblett.
Who won?
Patty Pimblett beat the shit out of I'm sorry, D, but he beat the dog shit out of Michael Chandler. And let me tell you, Michael Chandler is not a guy that gets beat up. All right? Michael Chandler is not a man who usually, even though he's lost some fights in his career, it ain't never been because he just got beat up. Patty came out there. He gave him a 2-piece of biscuit. He gave him the whole friggin' combo. I don't know, man. They kept showing this one replay where Patty's on top. He's just holding Michael Chandler like this, punching him in the face. Face is all bloody. Chandler's looking up at the camera almost like, help. And, man, and this came a ref stoppage in the 3rd round. This was scheduled to be a 5-round fight as well. Patty the frickin' Batty, let me tell you. Oh, you can hate him all you want, but let me tell you, that dude. He had the funniest trash talk. He called out Colby Covington, and I ain't never heard anybody call somebody what'd he say? He's a sausage. I ain't never heard somebody call somebody a sausage as an insult. Either way, Patty said, I don't care who it is that wants it next. I'll take anybody. I just proved to y'all I can beat up one of the baddest dudes in the UFC. Come get it. D.
Now, Colby or Coldy or whatever his name is, I want him to get a whooping. He definitely deserves a good whooping. Like the ref don't need to stop the fight kind of whooping. That's what he. Yeah. Because that dude talked like he ain't lost a fight, and he done got his ass whooped twice. Like thoroughly whipped. He talked.
They got it. There was a video. They got into it backstage after after Patty was off the floor. So I believe that we could see that probably somewhere around June, maybe July for International Fight Week.
All right. Yeah. Well. We got
any opinions on that? If not, we can squeeze in NBA.
No, you usually give us, we didn't come on last week. You usually have us hyped up to go, do what we need to do. But I'm working on that for you as we speak, sir. So.
Oh, my guy. Yes. All right. Because that was confirmed from 2 weeks ago. The UFC on June 14th will be at State Farm Arena. And I just saw that Thug Rose has been added to the card.
Who?
So, Rose Namajunas, that little skinny chick. little skinny. Yeah. Either way, all right, real quick, because I've only got a few minutes before I need to hop off. We have the NBA play-in tournament going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get that up. I apologize for not being prepared. All right, so we got the Hawks and the Magic, the Grizzlies and the Warriors, the Miami Heat against the Chicago Bills, and then the Mavericks and the Kings.
The Chicago who?
Bills.
Oh shit, Bulls! My bad. Fuck.
You better stop drinking whatever in that cup. You the McElroy.
Hey, McDonald's is spelled MC, so
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead. Go ahead, y'all.
All right.
It is.
Skip, are you taking your Lakers against the field? Well, wait a minute. Hold on before you answer. The Lakers are playing against Minnesota in the first round.
They can play against Minnesota.
There we go.
You know how my boy say?
That's what I wanted.
What? Man, stop it. Minnesota, Sarasota, Smoke a Toka. As my boy Shadow Song would say.
So, Kev, I know you. We'll get the bracket. I know when I went to this, we didn't have the 8th seed and the 7th seed set 8. I just know we have the middle pieces set, the 6 and the 3 and the 6, and so forth and so on right now. But the odds are unfavored by percentile, Skip. You got Oklahoma City, and I think you still have Boston right now. Your Lakers, they had them at like a 19%. It was 27%, I believe. OKC, I think the Lakers was at 19. They had the Boston at 19 and this. And a fun fact, and I know we gotta go. If y'all get the chance to check out Celtic Pride, I know you're not a Celtic fan, Skip, but it's a documentary on HBO. Boston was the first NBA team in history, you guys, to put all 5 black players on the court in history. They were the first one. I want you to check it out, especially you, Skip, because you lived through some of this stuff, and they show you before Larry Bird got there what Bill Russell was going through, and when they came down here to the South, how they were treated off the court in Boston compared to what they was treated on the court. Larry Bird, I'm not a Larry Bird fan, but I got a new respect for him. Larry said he didn't want to play with he wanted to play with the black players. Larry Bird was coming to camp early to train with the black players and stuff like that.
Because that's what people played against growing up.
Yeah, so if you get a chance, look at the history of Boston. That Celtic Pride is an interesting because they take you up through the history till getting us up to now.
Yeah, I can take that out there. But you know, Larry was famous for telling all other coaches on the team, say, "Man, I'm gonna kill y'all tonight." They say, "Why? You got a white dude guard me. You ain't got nobody black on the bench to guard me."
And Abe, I don't know. I'm not saying you don't know. We thought Boston was here because they used to be fighting with the Hawks all the time when we were little kids. But Boston's rivalry, Skip, outside, we just thought it was the Lakers, was the 76ers. I just looked at this documentary. I didn't know Dr. J. Mosby and they was fighting Boston like they were getting in fights.
Yeah.
Before we got to the bad boy era, and all that.
Yeah, Detroit was one of them teams where you went to die back then. You know, that's where the veteran players would go to that team, sign a contract, and just play the rest of their career out. Yeah, Detroit they came to themselves around 85, 86. Go ahead, Abe.
Well, I feel like Eastern Conference Finals, Cavs, Celtics, Western Conference Finals, Lakers, Thunder, Lakers beat OKC, and Boston beat Cleveland, and Celtics Lakers. And how you say it, Skip?
They could be Celtics, 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 or say anything with a belt on the end of it. Lakers at 5.
I got the Lakers winning the ship, man. I just saw Luca take Dallas to the finals after beating Ant-Man them, who just beat the champs, and he took down, I think OKC was the number one seed last year too. OKC, maybe it was Denver, I don't know. But took down Denver too. I mean, took down OKC too. And that was just Luca by himself, with along with some bigs playing some good defense, I will say. But when you got Luca, who's arguably the best offensive player right now, and you got the second best OR player in the world ever, you that's a recipe along with some athletic wings and a couple of bigs. I think they got like 1 7 footer. But I feel like they got what it takes, and Reddick is doing a good job at coaching. So I feel like they got everything they need to get this ring. I don't know about Lakers in 5 now, but I will say Lakers to win the ship.
There we go. We'll get more in depth with that next week as we know who those final spots will be taken by. Skip, give me your last take, player.
Hey man, we talked about some interesting topics tonight, and one thing I want to impart on anybody watching, man, if you have a kid, son, family member, whatever that's getting ready to go to school, and they are something like a super athlete, get in their ear. Make sure they understand right from wrong. Make sure they understand all the loopholes and all of the pretty girls and everything that's going to come with this money and this NIL deal that they get, regardless of how big it is. Because once you become somebody on the athletic field, baseball, basketball, football, they're coming. Whether it be the women trying to get babies or whatever,
For sure.
they still need guidance. Don't think because they got money, now they can take care of me or now they can fix this, because they still need to be pointed in the right direction. So y'all make sure you take care of your family members, whoever might be in that situation. If not, if you know a friend, make sure they get the right guidance. So yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all.
Thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate it. And to piggyback on what Skip was saying, mental health is real. Um, and this time and age that we in, I know it's a lot of things going on politically in the world. You got these kids next week whose lives finna change in a blink of a head of a phone call. They're gonna be millionaires overnight. And just like you said, hug your loved ones. Life too short to be dealing with a lot of things that go on in life, and it's stress. Shout out to Abe. It was his birthday this past week. He getting a little older. Shout out to the first lady. She put on a good event for her husband. I must say, I commend her, and I hope she's listening. First lady, you did your thing,
She ain't invite me. I'm mad.
and she did a good job for him.
Yeah, I second that, man. I appreciate my old lady and everything. I love you, babe. Had a great time. But my last take, man. Put the hair on them damn braids, bro. Now I don't know. I don't know if uh we need to make a big splash with a pitcher or some offense. But at this point in time, man, I don't know what they was thinking uh coming into this season. Like everything was just gonna go back to how it was. Oh, it ain't. You're not. You have to get guys in. I ain't saying that we don't have guys, but I don't feel like we have enough. Along with the injuries, Ozuna hurt now. I think
We lost Proper.
yes, I think my man come back in May. So it's just disgusting to watch, man. I think the Marlins are over 500, and we sitting there at like wins with 11 or 12 losses. But you know the good thing about it is it's 100 and some odd game season, so they still got a little time to pull to turn it around. But just right now, that ain't Braves baseball. So I hope they get it together, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Glad to be back. Go Dogs.
Just had to throw that shit in there, didn't you?
Watch your mouth.
Yeah,
Y'all got a problem.
yeah.
All right, all right. Well, thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. We will be back next Monday, same time, same place. Until then, please keep the beer cold and the wings lemon pepper, baby. We